Maono is a company known for affordable gamer-focused audio peripherals, and with their new PD100X that just released in May for $59.99, you can tell immediately that the gamer vibe is strong with this one. But vibes aren't everything. To be a suitable gamer streamer mic, it also needs to deliver clear audio, and on paper, the PD100X has the means to deliver. It features a dynamic capsule with cardioid polar pattern, a 40Hz to 16 kHz frequency rate, and 24-bit 48 kHz sampling rate. It also offers a built-in wind foam. It's XLR and USB compatible, and it's supported by Maono Link, which is Maono's own EQ interface software. But there are still other areas to consider, like build quality, button controls, and more. So let's take a deeper dive into the PD100X to see if it's actually worth its $59.99 asking price. Also, before we begin, this mic was provided to me by Maono under the agreement that the views expressed in this video are solely my own. Alright, let's start with what you get in the box. Unsurprisingly, there's the microphone, which comes pre-installed to this metal half yoke. As for its body, half is covered with black foam for cutting down on background noise and plosives. Meanwhile, the bottom half is all translucent plastic, that is until you power it on with USB, and suddenly the whole bottom half illuminates. There are several solid and dynamic colors to cycle through with use of a small button on the bottom of the microphone mixed in with the ports. You can press it continuously to cycle those color options or hold for 2 seconds to turn off RGB altogether. And when RGB is off, the lower half returns to a translucent plastic which almost appears as a gray finish. As for the metal half yoke mount, it's very sturdy and allows for almost full 360 degrees rotation. While I mentioned a lot of the microphone's outer body is plastic, under the wind foam, you'll find quite a bit of metal. Regardless, it's all still very light, so the half yoke singular connecting support has no trouble holding the PD100X wherever you situate it. The included base is sufficient. Its bottom side is fitted with a foam pad for absorbing vibrations and assisting in noise canceling from whatever surface it's on. You also get this conveniently long 2.5-meter USB-A to USB-C cable, which might sound like overkill, but the PD100X is compatible with PlayStation 4 and 5. And since a lot of console gamers set up their systems in a living room compared to a desk, I think this length is great. Lastly, you'll find a threaded adapter and user manual, which may just be helpful in case I miss covering any features or setting adjustments in this video, but I will try to hit all of them. First, let's get the PD100X set up. The base of the half yoke mount is threaded for 3/8" and 5/8" adapters. The included base stand screws right in, but if you plan to connect the PD100X to a boom arm or another base stand, you may need to use the included orange adapter. Just twist it into the half yoke's base, and you're good to go. Now, I'm not an audiophile, so USB tends to suit me just fine. You'll find all the ports and the RGB control button on the bottom side of the mic. You have, of course, the USB-C for simple plug and play, a 3.5mm audio jack for listening to your recording in real time, and the XLR port. Unfortunately, if this is your first leap into XLR microphones, you will need to purchase a cable separately, as one does not come included. So setting up with USB is as easy as plug and play. Plug a USB-C cable into your mic, and the USB-A side into your laptop, PC, Mac, or PlayStation console. For mic monitoring, plug your headset or headphones into the 3.5mm jack, and remember to set the PD100X as your output speaker, so you can not only monitor your voice, but hear your game or music as well. Adjusting microphone gain and mic monitoring volume can be done with the same 2-in-1 digital knob, and by referencing the 5 indicator LEDs toward the bottom of the mic's body. When these LEDs are white, the 2-in-1 knob is set to gain, and when they're blue, it's set to mic monitoring. Just as important, the number of illuminated LEDs indicates a volume percentage in increments of 20, with all 5 LEDs illuminated, indicating volume is at 100%. Meanwhile, to cycle between gain and mic monitoring, simply press the 2-in-1 knob. You can also mute the mic by pressing the touch-sensitive mute button, in which case, when done successfully, the LED indicators will turn red. When setting up with XLR, you will lose functionality for the 2-in-1 knob and the mute button, as gain, mic monitoring, and muting will be controlled by the audio mixer you connect to, which in my case is the Fifine SC3. Once you've plugged the XLR female end into the microphone, plug the male end into your audio mixer or interface. Unlike some XLR microphones, PD100X does not require 48-volt phantom power to operate. If you want to utilize the mic monitoring feature, plug your headphones or headset into the headphone jack on your mixer or interface. On this mixer, I need to press mic monitor to activate the feature, but this may be different on whichever mixer or interface you use. Also note that when connecting with XLR, the RGB will only work by connecting a USB cable between your PC and laptop, and the PD100X. Now that the PD100X is set up, let's talk sound quality specs. As mentioned earlier, this microphone contains a dynamic microphone with a cardioid polar pattern. This means you can expect less unwanted noise showing up in your recordings. As a gamer streamer, this could be better noise canceling of keyboards or controller clicks. In terms of recorded sound quality, the PD100X has a 40Hz to 16 kHz frequency rate and 24-bit 48 kHz sampling rate. Sensitivity varies from XLR to USB, with XLR being much more gain heavy at minus 52 decibels, while USB sensitivity is only minus 10.6 decibels, which means the XLR requires 52 decibels gain or higher, and the USB requires 10.6 decibel gain or higher, or you'll hear a lot of hiss. Lastly, the microphone has an SPL of 130, which means it can handle louder noise without distorting audio. So on paper, the PD100X seems pretty capable, but keep in mind this is still a sub $60 microphone. That being said, as someone who's just a gamer and not an audiophile, I think this microphone sounds clear and balanced out of the box, especially for the price. But if you want to try to tweak the EQ and get even more clarity out of its USB mode, you can download the Maono Link software from their site. I'll have a link down below in the description. The only annoyance is, you need to create an account to download. Anyway, once that's installed, you can use Maono Link to not only tweak and customize the EQ, but you can do more basic things like precisely adjust gain, headphone volume, select a preset adjustment for your tone, or change up RGB, all of which can also be performed with buttons on the mic itself, albeit with less precision, with the exception of the tone presets. More advanced settings give you access to a volume limiter from minus 40 decibels to 0 decibels, or turn on compression to reduce your dynamic range and keep your recording's noise level consistent. Meanwhile, the noise setting may help to cut down on unwanted background noise, but I think it does this by lowering the sensitivity, so the more you turn it down, the less you hear your own voice. So if you intend to use this feature, find a balance. Also under advanced settings are the EQ settings. According to Maono, the flat line is the output's original sound. High pass filter helps avoid interference from low frequency noises such as indoor air conditioner, perhaps even PC fans. Presence boost is a mid-frequency enhancement that's meant to highlight the mid-frequency of vocals and instruments. And the last one just turns on the previous two modes at the same time. Of course, if you prefer customizing your own EQ settings, you can click customize and make your adjustments in either standard or advanced modes. So that's it for my review of the Maono PD100X. But before I go, you may be wondering my final thoughts. So here they are. I think this is an excellent microphone worth consideration if you're in the market for a gamer streamer focused mic, especially for that sub $60 price. It sounds great, has its own EQ software for customization, it's accessible to amateurs and professionals thanks to USB and XLR connection modes, and it's got a strong RGB vibe going on for those gamers and streamers looking for that bold aesthetic. If that ticks all the boxes for what you're looking for in a gaming mic, why not go bold? Thanks for watching.